Hello everyone, Julie here. We have discovered a lot of great titles in the turn-based strategy genre, and let's be real, many of these games are a very old game, which graphically can be a bit annoying to play. In this video, we will talk about some of the best modern turn-based strategy, and to make things even better, we will talk about the most replayable ones. And to focus more on the turn-based strategy part, we will not include CRPG games, especially since CRPGs are generally designed to be highly replayable. But before we go into the list, I want to introduce you to the best platform for buying games in this modern era, and it's called Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is the perfect place for you to shop in games these days. Your transactions are legit, fast, and their supports are ready 24/7, so you don't need to worry about anything. Do you think I was done? Not even close. They have lots of games for your favorite platforms, and they have the best deals as well. Instead of cutting your budget for dinner to buy new games, why not try Instant Gaming and eat healthy as well? All you have to do is just click my link in the description below, start searching for your favorite games, and use the activation code on your chosen platforms. By using my link, you're not only saving tons of money, but also helping me to support this channel. Alright then, let's get back into the list. Brigandine: The Legend of Runersia thrives on its grand strategy mixed with RPG depth, creating a battlefield that never plays out the same way twice. The story frames 6 nations vying for dominance across a vast continent, each led by unique rulers with their own ideals and armies. This foundation gives players reason to return, exploring not just one perspective but several, with branching outcomes depending on choices and conquests. The gameplay revolves around commanding squads of knights and mystical creatures, with tactical grid-based battles that emphasize positioning and long-term planning. Progression is layered, knights level up, monsters evolve, and entire nations shift depending on victories or defeats. Campaigns can last dozens of hours, yet no two runs feel alike thanks to faction variety and strategic freedom. For players who value replayability, the sheer number of paths and unit combinations ensures lasting engagement. Xenonauts 2 captures the essence of classic tactical alien defense while offering fresh systems that make every campaign distinct. Its story is straightforward, but the details come alive through emergent missions, evolving tech, and strategic world decisions. Players balance base management, resource allocation, and squad deployment, each choice affecting long-term survival. On the battlefield, soldiers are fragile and every shot carries weight, making each mission tense and unique. The procedural maps and unpredictable alien behavior further guarantee that no two encounters unfold the same way. Progression is marked by research trees and soldier growth, yet losing key operatives can reshape strategies mid-campaign. This uncertainty is what fuels replayability. Different playstyles, new tech priorities, and squad compositions can dramatically change the outcomes. Felseal Arbiter's mark builds its strength around tactical RPG depth and flexible progression. Its narrative places players in the role of Kyrie, an arbiter tasked with upholding order in a land ruled by ancient council members. While the main story is engaging, the game's real longevity lies in its extensive job system and combat customization. Dozens of classes, abilities, and equipment combinations allow squads to be built in countless ways, ensuring every campaign feels different. The battles themselves are carefully balanced, demanding strategy without overwhelming randomness, and reward players who experiment with creative tactics. Character progression is persistent, and shaping a roster of adventurers becomes a deeply personal process as skills carry over between jobs. Even after the main story concludes, replaying with new team builds or difficulty settings still provides fresh challenges. Marvel's Midnight Suns blends tactical combat with RPG storytelling, giving players the chance to lead iconic heroes through a constantly changing adventure. The narrative is built around a new protagonist who joins forces with the Avengers and supernatural allies to fight a rising demonic threat. What makes the game highly replayable is the dual structure, strategic card-based battles that shift with every draw and relationship building that alters dialogue, powers, and story moments. Each hero has unique abilities and playstyles, encouraging experimentation and varied squad combinations. Progression is tied not just to combat but also to how players interact at the Abbey, unlocking new cards, upgrades, and team synergies. Because every run allows different squad setups, dialogue choices, and combat strategies, no playthrough feels identical. For fans of tactics and character-driven RPGs, the mix of Marvel storytelling with layered mechanics offers lasting depth.
We've done it. Excellent work.
Tactics Ogre Reborn is a definitive version of a classic designed for players who crave both narrative depth and immense replay value. The story of Denham Pavel unfolds in a war-torn land where moral choices and political allegiances drastically shape the path forward. This branching structure encourages multiple playthroughs, as decisions lead to different storylines, allies, and outcomes. On the battlefield, tactical combat is dense and rewarding, with terrain, positioning, and unit growth shaping every encounter. The game's class system allows for versatile progression, letting players experiment with countless squad builds across runs. A standout feature is the World Tarot system, which allows revisiting key decision points without starting from scratch. Combined with intricate battles and evolving character progression, Tactics Ogre Reborn is a strategy RPG that provides endless replayability. SpellForce Conquest of EO offers a hybrid of turn-based strategy and RPG-style exploration, set in a magical land full of mystery and danger. Unlike traditional linear campaigns, it gives players freedom to shape their rise as a powerful mage, exploring regions, conquering rivals, and discovering lore at their own pace. The narrative unfolds dynamically, often shaped by encounters and choices rather than a fixed script. The gameplay merges empire building with tactical battles, where armies of varied units clash in turn-based combat. Progression is flexible, with different magical paths, research options, and troop combinations opening new possibilities in every run. Replayability shines in how each playthrough can focus on different schools of magic, alliances, and strategies, altering the path to dominance. Songs of Conquest carries the spirit of classic turn-based strategy while presenting it in a form that feels both fresh and approachable. Built on a striking pixel art style that evokes the charm of HD 2D, it invites players into a world of factions, rivalries, and tactical battles. The game offers multiple story-driven campaigns, each tied to one of the 4 factions, where you step into the role of a weaver leading armies and wielding magic to shift the tide of war. Battles unfold on hex-based grids where troop placement, range, and resourceful use of spells determine survival. A quick battle option helps speed through smaller encounters, while manual control offers the depth that fans expected. Town building also layers economic management into the strategy, encouraging long-term planning beyond the battlefield. Outside the official stories, replayability also expands through Conquest mode and a robust map editor. Whether you're fighting on crafted scenarios, procedurally generated maps, or your own creations, the variety ensures no 2 runs feel the same. Jagged Alliance 3 embraces unpredictability as its greatest strength, ensuring that no campaign ever unfolds the same way. The story follows a mission to rescue a missing leader in the nation of Grand Chien, but it quickly opens into a sandbox of mercenary management, regional control, and emergent encounters. Players recruit from a roster of distinct mercenaries, each with unique personalities and skills that influence not only combat but also how events play out. Turn-based battles are unforgiving, with tactical depth that rewards planning while allowing room for unexpected outcomes. Between fights, managing supplies, equipment, and contracts adds another layer of strategic decision-making. Progression is tied to both individual mercs and the overall campaign map, creating a dynamic sense of growth. The random events, evolving AI opposition, and diverse mercenary combinations also ensure lasting replayability, making every run a different story of survival and conquest.
Like a prom queen. Was a major! Kill them for a bullet!
Cybernight's Flashpoint isn't trying to be another sprawling cyberpunk epic. Instead, it focuses on something more direct, leading a crew of mercenaries through heists that blend stealth, hacking, and tactical combat. Each mission begins quietly. Guards patrol, cameras sweep, and a central security AI escalates threats the longer you linger. You can attempt to stay invisible, but when plans fall apart, the combat system takes over. Positioning, cover, and teamwork all matter in this game, making every firefight tense and punishing. That being said, progression is where Flashpoint really opens up. 8 classes, multi-classing, and cybernetic implants allow for endless builds, while your Cyber Knight leader comes with unique talents that shape the entire squad's playstyle. Whether you favor stealth operatives, heavy bruisers, or hybrid specialists, the systems encourage experimentation across multiple runs. Our Adventurer Guild brings management and role-playing together, offering a game that thrives on variety across multiple runs. Instead of following a single hero's journey, players oversee an entire guild, guiding recruits through quests, training, and progression. The narrative emerges from these characters' stories, where successes and failures shape the guild's reputation and growth. Missions are diverse, with combat, exploration, and resource management all woven into the experience. Each adventurer develops differently, gaining skills, relationships, and traits that influence how they perform in the field. This structure ensures that no two campaigns ever play out identically, as the composition of the guild and the decisions made along the way lead to unique outcomes. For players who love replayability, the constant cycle of fresh recruits, shifting quests, and evolving guild dynamics creates a game that remains engaging long after the first playthrough. Disgaea 5 stands as one of the most replayable tactical RPGs thanks to its near-limitless progression systems. The story delivers a humorous yet engaging tale of rebellion against a powerful overlord, but the true heart of the game lies in its mechanics. Players command squads in grid-based battles where creativity is rewarded, with mechanics that encourage experimentation through combos, environmental manipulation, and team synergy. What sets Disgaea apart is its depth of progression. Characters can reach absurd levels, reincarnate into new forms, and specialize across countless classes. The item world adds another layer, generating endless dungeons within equipment for both growth and variety. With so many systems interwoven, each playthrough can focus on different builds, grinding strategies, or story paths, creating new challenges and discoveries every time.
All men are my servants.
Super reckless!
Getting real thirsty here.
Symphony of War: The Nephilim Saga combines grand strategy with squad-based tactics, resulting in a game where no two campaigns feel alike. The story follows a rebellion against a corrupt empire, presenting a clear narrative backbone that grows in scope as characters develop and alliances shift. Battles are fought with squads composed of multiple units, and the ability to mix classes, equipment, and leadership styles ensures immense variety. Progression is multi-layered. Not only do individual units grow, but entire squads evolve into powerful formations shaped by player decisions. Strategic choices on the campaign map add another dimension, forcing players to manage resources and territories effectively. With branching story events, numerous difficulty options, and the freedom to experiment with squad compositions, the game offers strong replayability. BattleTech thrives on its mix of tactical depth and strategic management, creating campaigns that rarely play out the same way. The story begins with the usual rebellion trope, but soon opens into a sandbox where mercenary commanders chart their own path. Missions vary in objectives and conditions, which encourage players to be adaptive on the battlefield. Combat is deliberate and weighty, involving terrain mechanics, heat management, and positioning that can turn the tide of battle. Between missions, players manage a mercenary company, like balancing finances, repairing mechs, and hiring pilots. Progression comes through salvaging parts, customizing mechs, and developing pilots with distinct skills, ensuring every campaign builds its own identity. And to make things even better, the dynamic contract system and procedural missions also ensure lasting replayability.
Yeah, critical hit.
Wartales offers a grounded take on the mercenary life, giving players freedom to carve their story across a harsh medieval world. Rather than a fixed narrative, the game emphasizes emergent storytelling through choices, contracts, and survival challenges. Each campaign begins with a band of mercenaries, whose composition and progression shape the journey ahead. Exploration is open-ended, with regions offering unique quests, dangers, and resources. Tactical battles are tense, where positioning, terrain, and stamina management matter as much as raw strength. Outside of combat, your mercenaries' food, wages, and morale force constant strategic decisions, pushing players to balance ambition with survival management. Progression is also layered. Companions gain traits and professions, gear can be crafted or upgraded, and the party evolves into something entirely different across runs. Age of Wonders 4 excels at giving players the tools to create endlessly unique campaigns. Set in a high fantasy universe, its story framework provides lore-rich backdrops but leaves much of the narrative to be shaped by the player's empire. The standout feature is the Empire customization system, which allows rulers, cultures, and magical tomes to be mixed into countless combinations. This ensures every campaign feels fresh, with different strategies and identities forming based on initial choices. On the battlefield, tactical combat is turn-based and cinematic, with spells, unit synergies, and terrain creating diverse encounters. Progression is multi-layered, spanning from hero development to city growth and empire-wide transformations, each influencing the long-term campaign. Replayability shines through procedural maps, dynamic AI opponents, and the freedom to experiment with new builds, encouraging players to explore the vast range of possibilities within its systems. Troubleshooter Abandoned Children is one of the most ambitious tactical RPGs in recent years, combining a near-future setting with the kind of strategic depth usually reserved for genre heavyweights. The game takes place in Valhalla, a sprawling city plagued by crime where players lead Albus and his team of private peacekeepers into conflicts that steadily unravel larger mysteries. The story leans on melodrama and a diverse cast, and while translation issues sometimes dull its impact, the sincerity of the writing gives the characters a sense of charm. That being said, the true strength of the game lies in its systems. Missions unfold on large cover-based maps with verticality and varied objectives, offering dozens of ways to approach each scenario. Progression is also staggering in scope. The mastery board contains hundreds of interlocking abilities, subclasses add more depth, and bonds between characters unlock extra skills. Crafting, equipment, and drones only expand the options further, ensuring remarkable replayability for those willing to master its complexity.
당신의 저항도 여기까지야.
Wildermyth is an RPG that feels less like a traditional campaign and more like a living storybook. At its heart, it's a game about characters who grow, change, and eventually become legends remembered across generations. You begin with a small group of adventurers, defined not only by their classes but by their personalities, which shape how they react to events and each other. Besides that, enemies evolve alongside your heroes as well, forcing you to adapt strategies or you'll often get humbled really quick. Transformations, romances, and rivalries don't just add flavor, they also affect your character's performance on the battlefield. That being said, what makes Wildermyth truly special is time. Campaigns can span years, and that means characters age, retire, or die, leaving behind a legacy that carries forward into future adventures. This cycle of growth, loss, and remembrance turns each playthrough into a unique myth, making Wildermyth one of the most replayable and meaningful RPGs. Battle Brothers thrives on unpredictability. Set in a grim, low-fantasy world, it casts you as the leader of a mercenary company with no fixed story path, only contracts, choices, and the dangers of a harsh land. The narrative emerges through decisions and consequences, who you hire, which battles you fight, and how you manage resources. Every soldier carries a history, and losing them in combat is not just a setback but the loss of a piece of your company's story. The gameplay is tactical and extremely punishing. Positioning, terrain, morale, and equipment all matter, and even the smallest mistake can cost dearly. Over time, surviving mercenaries gain traits, skills, and scars, shaping them into veterans whose presence can tip the tide of battle. Replayability is immense because no two campaigns unfold the same way. Random events, contracts, and emergent storytelling make every run distinct, whether you're clashing with noble houses, hunting monsters, or just trying to survive winter. Battle Brothers doesn't hold your hand, but its unforgiving nature ensures that each campaign feels like a fresh test of strategy and resilience. Fire Emblem Three Houses redefines the tactical RPG formula by blending deep strategy with personal storytelling. Set in the divided land of Fodlan, you take on the role of a professor, guiding one of three student houses through political intrigue and war. The branching narrative is central to its appeal. Your chosen house alters alliances, battles, and even the fates of beloved characters, encouraging multiple playthroughs to uncover the full scope of the story. On the battlefield, the series' trademark grid-based combat shines, but Three Houses adds meaningful layers. Battalions, combat arts, and class customization open new strategic possibilities, while the permadeath option heightens tension with every decision. Outside combat, the monastery life offers a slower pace, like teaching, training, and building relationships that directly impact how students grow and perform in battle. Combined with the radically different perspectives offered by each route, Three Houses ensures extraordinary replayability.
More fighting.
XCOM 2 stands as the benchmark for modern tactical strategy, delivering a game where every choice carries weight and every mission could change the course of humanity's resistance. Set in a future where aliens rule Earth, you command a mobile base and lead squads of soldiers on desperate missions to weaken the occupiers. Combat is tense and flexible. Missions demand careful use of cover, flanking, and squad abilities. But the unpredictability of hit chances and enemy reinforcements means adaptation is always required. Soldiers level up into specialized classes, acquire unique skills, and grow into heroes, but with permadeath ever looming, no one is safe. The replayability comes from the layered systems working in harmony, procedurally generated maps, evolving alien threats, soldier customization, and mod support. Each run feels distinct, pushing you to refine strategies and experiment with different squad compositions. Alright boys, I think that's it for today. I know that there are other modern turn-based strategy RPGs that I haven't mentioned yet, so how about sharing your best modern turn-based strategy RPGs that probably deserve a spot in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss another great list. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Peace!